I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. Today on the show, I'm joined by the Emmy-winning doll Luscious Massacr. We talk about not just pogs, but pugs, Lynn's Buffet, and all of the fun in Brownsville, Texas. But first, do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Oh.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get Very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who always wants you to top her off. Don't worry, it wasn't a fly. It was just a roach. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta.
Go off, Delta!
I love a lightning cord that's 10 feet long. You know, a wise woman once said, I need 7 inches or more. And I just can't fuck with a small charging cord. I just can't do it. You know, when you get like a regular charging cord and I don't know, maybe 3 feet, that's like a normal length. I can't like charge it and then comfortably in my car, like pick up the phone and change the song, right? I'm like, what song do I want to hear right now? And so I have to like grab the phone and then it pulls out of the thing. So I need like, I don't even need 6 feet. I need 10 feet. I want to loop it around me. I want to Judy Garland that cord. I want it over here. And I want to type in Your Sweetness by the Good Girls. Play. That's what I want to hear, right? And so I want to have access to that cord because sometimes if it's not sunny out, I want my phone sitting on the dash. I don't really have a holder because I don't believe in those holders. I feel like those holders that you put like in your air vent or that you put over the mirror, I feel like they're going to be too heavy and they're going to break. So I just balance my phone wherever. And so if it's not too sunny out, I'll put it on one of those little, it's like a pad so things don't slide around. I'll set it there. Sometimes I'll put it in the, what do you call this? Where the change goes. I don't think people keep change in their car anymore. No one is really buying anything with a quarter or, pennies. I went to vacuum out the car the other day and it wouldn't take coins. It said cash only, or you could use your debit card. I remember I used to just drop a couple of quarters in there from here. Actually, there's probably a lot of money in there. You ever do Coinstar? I love Coinstar. That's so fun. I should do that. That would probably be the last time I would ever do it again from the car. Because, you used to be able to keep your coins in the ashtray and you could use it for a drink or whatever. Nobody's buying anything with fucking coins anymore. But that cord, I need it to be long. So I'm going to type in Your Sweetness by the Good Girls, or I'm going to put in a song by Seduction. I love Seduction. I love all the girl groups from like the late 80s. I mean, I love girl groups in general. My favorite girl group of all time, honestly, 100%, I do believe is the Pointer Sisters. 100% across the board. That cord, I have to have my phone charged. And when I lose a charge, I'm so mad. I don't like those pocket chargers or those little like, what's that thing that I see all the time where people are like, it's got like a circle on it and you just set it on somewhere and it's going to charge. I think it probably would charge. However, I have a pop socket on my phone, right? Because I'm very about my phone case and my pop socket like coordinating. My pop socket coordinating. So do you have to take that off in order to charge if you have a pop socket over it? I feel like that sort of defeats the purpose. And I feel like those things, while they do charge, I think it takes a long time. I don't think they're lightning charge. I believe in lightning cords. I believe in like the little box, the adapter. What do you call that? A charging adapter? A charging port? I think I need the one from the Apple store, not the one from the gas station. The ones that are $3.99, it's not going to do it for me. I need one that has the little picture of the apple on it. I feel like that. I feel like I can get a lightning cord from wherever, but I feel like that port thing, it's got to be a good one or else there's going to be problems. You know what I'm saying? And I like to have lots of cords everywhere. I have a cord in my dressing room and it stays there. I have the cord in the car, it stays there. I have a cord in my bag, it stays there. I have a cord in my travel suitcase, it stays there. I have a cord next to the bed, it stays there. I got to have cords, you know what I mean? And they have to be 10 foot because you never know. You never know where you're going to be. It's like I always keep an extension cord in my suitcase, a long one. I have several, a 10 foot, a 20 foot cord. You never know where you're going to be. You have to be responsible for your own cords. You know what I'm saying? It's a thing for me that I do not want my phone to be below a certain spot. You know, my uncle used to tell me all the time, you can't let your car get under a quarter of a tank. But I'm definitely one of those people that's like, no, I know my car. But I've pushed it, at certain point, like not literally push the car because that would never happen. Like if I ran out of gas, I would probably just abandon my car. I probably wouldn't go back for it. I would be so embarrassed of my own laziness and like where it ended up. Plus, not just embarrassed of my own laziness, just straight up lazy. And I would be like, well, what do I do? Like, what are you supposed to do if your car dies? I think about that all the time. I'm driving and I'm like, I see someone, and I've actually stopped before. Would surprise people, I think. I've stopped and helped people push their car because I think, God, that's fucked up. But I think my anxiety has me in a place where I wouldn't expect anyone else to help me push my car if I was in that situation, because I feel like it's somehow my responsibility to take care of that. So I feel like I hold the space for other people, but not myself in that. And so when I say I would be embarrassed of my laziness, so I wouldn't want anyone to know that happened, I would also be too fucking lazy to just go push my own car. Because then I would think like, how moted if nobody wants to help you and you're like, oh, I'm pushing my car because I'm so dumb. I like ran out of gas. You don't really know your own car, when people are like, I know my body. No, you don't. We don't. We don't know our own body. I mean, maybe a little bit, but do we really? Who really knows their own body? Who really knows their own car? Who really knows their own phone? I know how long my phone can go. And it does surprise me that you get that warning on your phone when it's like low battery. It'll say like 20% left. But that 20%, you know as well as I do, if you're not around a cord, that 20% could go another half a day. I mean, it can go forever. I don't know why it does. I send my text messages all kinds of different ways. For some people, I'll type it out, right? Like, meet you up front, or if it's going to be a little more complicated, I'll do a talk to text. But the thing is, like, I feel like since the last couple of updates on my phone, the talk to text has really sort of changed and evolved. Once upon a time, it would like misspell a word or whatever, but I feel like it got to the point. It like knew what you were trying to say. Now it punctuates in places where I'm guessing it's just listening to my intonation and it's like, you're punctuating that there. We've decided that that's what you meant. But sometimes I'm like, no, I spoke that as clearly as possible. Why did you decide that there was a question mark, a comma? For some reason, every time I use the word has, H-A-S, it changes it to capital H-A-S-S. Now, I have a friend named Hassan, and so I thought, oh, maybe, it thinks I'm trying to say Hassan, but then it stops it. But why does it decide that? Why can't it default to what the most likely thing is that you're going to say in this sentence structure? How has this been happening? Or whatever. Why does it do that? I don't understand why the technology, it's like I don't know if it's just like now AI or whatever, like when you're on Instagram and suddenly there's not just a search or an explore. It's like, hi, I'm AI. What would you like? We've been saying for years that our phones are listening to us and like, what is it recording? Why is it what does it need? It needs everything. It needs everything. It needs to know what our face looks like when we put a funny filter on. So that way, I don't know, it can say, this is what this citizen will look like when they get older. This is what this citizen will look like if they change and try to go incognito. I don't even think that's conspiracy theory. I think it's just a fact. Somebody has to document that because somebody has to say, you know, literally probably everywhere in the world, but this country in specific is full of shit and is full of people who are upset, who are pissed, who want change. And so the phone is like, well, no, we're offering you a service, but we're also reporting and recording all of this stuff. And I think what happens is that, you know, the powers that maybe think to themselves, one of these days, these people in this country are just going to have an actual purge day. And when they cover up their face or they try to conceal their voice or they put on a wig or whatever, we're not going to know who they are. But if we give them fun apps to look at and they're like, look what I look like as a redhead. Look what I look like if I had a mustache. Well, yeah, it's funny for us. It's silly for us, but it's just being documented somewhere. That way, when the purge does happen, they can figure out who's pissed and who's not pissed and who's going fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's the AI shit. It's not conspiracy. It's just a fact. Why else would they need it? I don't think that's, and I think we're all probably on the same page with that. I don't think that anyone thinks that these apps that are being operated from wherever are just doing it just because they're like thinking people out there just want something, another option, not just crossword puzzles on an airplane. Maybe they want to change their face. It's not just for fun. It's not just to get $1 off an app. You know what it's for. Do you want to see me take a break? Because I think you want to see me take a break. Today's guest didn't come to battle, but she holds the space for those who do. It is Emmy Award-winning Luscious Massacr.
Yes.
Hi, gorgeous.
Oh my God, how are you?
You know what? I'm great. I'm really, really happy you're here. I feel like you are not only just my request, but across the board, when people are like, they type in who they want to see here, everyone's like, when is Luscious going to be there? Why has Luscious not been there?
Stop it.
And this is like, finally.
I'm shocked that people even know who I am.
Stop it. You have like 61,000 zillion people who follow you, watch
Lord.
you. Yeah.
Oh my God. Can I just say you look so hot.
Thank you.
I'm kind of gagged. This woman is giving Pamela Anderson. She's giving anal. She's giving blowjob. She's giving all that fantasy I'm living. Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh my God.
Bitch, was that what you were channeling?
I got up late and I just threw on the date wig. So I figured, you know.
Soft.
And that was my question. One question I had for you, because you obviously are a woman who loves the company of men, right? And they love the company of you.
Oh, absolutely.
And in all these years, these like 5 years that you've done drag, because, you know, you're new, right?
Trust.
You're new to expressing gender.
Right.
What would you say is like the essentials for the girl who says, oh my gosh, I have somebody coming over in 20 minutes, but I need to get in it? What's the quickest way to get in it?
Oh my God. Okay, so when the trade is on the way, he's parked.
Right.
He's on the way to the door and I have no makeup on. It's a nightmare. Because I'm not one of those girls that can have trade with no mug.
Uh-huh.
I'm a creature.
Right.
I'm a creature from the night and I need to have everything. Foundation first. I throw a little blush on, a lash, and gloss.
See,
and the gloss has to be slutty. It has to be like
almost dripping.
That soft pink. It has to be pink.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be glossy. It has to be, you know, give a fantasy.
Well, see, and that's the thing is like that's something that you know that other people don't know, and that is that you're creating the fantasy, but like it suggests when it's pink, it suggests something in specific to them.
You have to give it too, because if not, as soon as you open the door, they turn around and walk away. They run. They scream.
Really?
Oh, absolutely, honey. If I'm not giving the fantasy, they're going to be terrified for life. So I have to give a little something.
But they've never run away from you because you know what you're doing.
You know what it is, too? I'm also very the girl who's like, baby, if you're coming over, I need you to know that I'm a big fat bitch, honey.
Right.
I'm a BBW, baby. I'm not thick. Don't be playing these games. I'm a big bitch. 350 pounds, honey.
Well,
don't play games.
And that's why they come.
And I want them to process it, acknowledge it, recognize it, If that's what they're into, then come over, because if not, you're wasting my time.
love
I don't
this.
catfish like some of these girls that I'm thick. Bitch, you're 400 pounds.
Right.
How
Let's just be
dare
real.
you? How dare you?
Right.
And then these men come over, they open the door, they see this beast, and they run for the hills.
Right.
Well, you know, men are also just disgusting. A lot of the times, even if you look like an absolute monster from hell, they're still gonna come in.
Right. There are some that are that hungry.
Oh,
but I know what you're saying, because the
absolutely.
girls, like, you know, I love to take my pictures like this because I feel like I'm hiding something, or I like to go like this because I feel like I'm hiding something.
Right.
But the reality is they're going to see it like this.
Oh.
Right. And they're going to see this like this. And so what happens is they're going to see, they know. And so why fucking lie? Why not just be like, this is what you're going to get?
Yeah.
Because then there's no heartache.
Oh, my profile always says BBW
I have to go like this.
plus.
BBW plus.
BBW plus.
Right.
Because if you're not into the BBW fantasy, don't even message me, because you're wasting my time.
And it is a waste of time, because I think a lot of people think like, oh, you know, once upon a time, and maybe still now, they'll think like, oh, well, these big girls are happy to get anything. No.
Girl,
what are you talking about?
Are you kidding? Do you have any idea how much trade we have?
Right.
I think big girls get more trade than anybody.
Right.
And they come to the girls because they don't want everyone to know that they're kink.
Right.
Or, you know, their little secret. And their secret is they like a 350-pound queer man to sit on their face and suffocate.
Right.
To the point of, you know, I have sat on a trade's face.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tell him, do you want to live?
Right. Well, they have the choice.
I have the choice of life.
Mm-hmm.
In that moment, I can either choose to end your life, or I can give you the gift of life.
Right.
And I allow you to live.
Yeah.
And it just gives, it's a beautiful feeling. Have you ever done that?
I have. I've been many women in my life.
Oh my God. I've given life so many times.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's when you know, are they really going through it? You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. You know that man is traumatized, depressed, going through it. And he comes to me and I sit on his face, and all of those feelings, all of those issues he's going, that stress.
Would you say, okay, so sitting, would you say it's best to go, they're laying here and you're almost reverse cowgirl with your feet back, and then you can look back? Or how do you like to do it?
Oh, girl, I've done them all, honey.
Right.
But I do think the reverse cowgirl.
But because it just depends on who it is, right?
I love being the one who introduces them too. And then because then you're the first one, and now they're shook. And now they're obsessed because you're the one who taught them that this was the gift of life.
Well, and it's almost like when people say like born again Christian, they were born again.
Oh, honey, we made them born again. We allowed that.
Rebirthed.
Because you know that there has been cases where fully a BBW has killed a man.
And so that's the power that you have.
It goes through my mind too, because I'm like, bitch, am I about to kill this man?
Right.
Because I take a seat.
Right.
You remember like Queen of the Damned? They suck the blood up until the point right before you kill.
Right.
That's what I do.
And I know people are watching this and you think that we're playing in your face. This isn't a game. This is like,
oh baby,
this may be colorful to you, and this may be interesting or campy or whatever. This is real life.
Honey, listen, as big girls, we don't have a lot of privileges.
Right.
But we have that privilege of being able to sit on someone's face and possibly murdering them.
Right. And sending them into the afterlife.
Absolutely.
Right. It's like, do you want to meet your maker or do you want to meet your taker?
Correct.
Right. I believe that. You know, this is exciting. I think this is sort of legendary. We sit here as two people in not the same body, but similar bodies according to what other people think.
Right.
Visually, when we're not done up as similar looking people with similar backgrounds. I know, obviously, you were born and raised in Brownsville, Texas. My dad was born and raised in Brownsville, Texas.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Have you been to Brownsville?
Only one time.
Did you go to the Lynn's?
No, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That's what I really wanted to
talk
talk
to you about. The Lynn's
buffet,
girl, it's famous. It's so good.
Okay, so what goes on your plate there?
Well, listen, I love to go back to the very back of the buffet where they have the Mongolian grill.
Okay.
Because you get all the ingredients and they're all raw.
And you cook it. They cook it for
They
you.
cook it for you. And they go in and you tell them 2 scoops of butter, 2 scoops of, the spicy, 2 scoops of the whatever, all the things. Oh my God, it's delicious. I go with my big ass girlfriends all the time. Brownsville at one point used to be the fattest city in the entire country.
Really?
Honey, we had the title. So
Really?
brown people, because Brownsville's where the brown people be.
Uh-huh.
And the brown people be big, bitch.
Uh-huh.
I'm a fried food fat bitch.
You love it.
I love fried food. It's going to be the death of me. I love fried food.
Like
Anything fried.
Anything.
Anything that you can think of that they dipped it in oil, they fried it,
Yeah.
they pulverized it to death. It's delicious.
See, I love that. I love like a lot of little things all over, and some of this and an appetizer and like
My favorite thing to order when I go to a restaurant, I don't know what's going on, sampler.
so I can see.
Bitch, give me everything that's fried in one plate.
Uh-huh.
I want to really see what's going on over here.
Absolutely.
Because if the sampler's not given, bitch,
right.
you're wasting my time.
And also those sauces, because sometimes you'll taste a ranch and you're like, girl, this is disgusting.
Girl.
And I can tell if it's good or it's not good, usually by looking at it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You can like pick up the cup, and if you move it and it's not pouring, it's a clump. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. I don't like that. But I do think, yeah, like you're talking about the connection to Brownsville, but something, when I say we to other people look similar or do things similar, it's exciting because the similarity we also have that a lot of people don't have is
right.
We were awarded something really amazing.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. And so watching you do that,
there must be something in the water in Brownsville.
It could be. It could be.
Dear
but watching
Lord.
you with the passion that you have for makeup, the skill that you have, take that and be rewarded for that. What is that feeling, especially knowing it's your craft that you do better than anybody?
You know what it is? The thing about Brownsville, I feel like it's the oppression. I feel like when you live in a small town where there's, not a lot of diversity, there's not a lot of things going on, there's not a lot of places to go, we always struggle with having a gay club. Like usually like a gay couple open up, it'll last a couple years, close down, and then there's nothing. Okay. And so there's no safe space for queer people a lot of the times. It's so conservative. It's so backwards too. And I feel like that kind of like that oppression, queer people feeling neglected, queer people feeling like they're not safe. I feel like it pushes you to want to prove them wrong. Mm-hmm. It pushes you to want to do something with your life. It pushes you to want to be seen. It pushes you to fight. And it pushes you to, be like, bitch, watch me.
Right.
You're going to tell me that I'm not worth anything? You're going to tell me that you don't see me? Watch me. I'm going to make you look, bitch.
Yeah. And in doing that, you've literally made history with not just your skill, but the stages that you've taken this to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, You've taken it to TV shows that were established, and then you were the one that brought the light to that in that particular area. And that's so sickening. I mean, it really is sickening. And yes, some people say like, oh, why do you talk about that? Because we have to talk about it. It should be talked about because we're proud every day of it. When I see someone else and I'm like, look at that person creating their own fucking lane. Bitch. And that's what you've done.
Bitch. And it's wild because, it's a lot of the times when, for example, like when I came on We're Here, I was at a point in my life, in my career, where I had actually given up drag. Mm-hmm. It had been like almost a year and a half. I hadn't even done drag. Wow. I was like just completely at the point where I was like, I don't even know what my purpose is anymore. I turned to YouTube. I started having fun doing my YouTube videos. Don't put yourself under all this pressure. Because as drag queens, we put ourselves under so much pressure to be like, bitch, we need to be sickening. We need to look done. We need to have the hair. We need to do this, do that, all of it. And, sometimes when you're going through things, bitch, doing drag can be the hardest thing in the world. And, through me pushing myself in that avenue, I got seen. And then I get invited to come on the show. And it just completely changed my life. Completely changed my perspective too, because of what the show represents.
Right.
We go to these queer, small, conservative spaces and we show that queer people will survive, even if in the most hostile of environments. And for me, it really was like, I was one of the people that it was also healing. Because I also come from a very small, conservative town. And so it was kind of very bizarre to where like I'm on this show and I'm one of these really cool, powerful queerdos that's coming to these small spaces and showing them, look what you can do. But at the same time, I was also being shown, look what you can do, bitch.
Sure.
It was really sickening.
That's powerful.
It was so powerful.
Yeah.
It healed so many of my own little traumas that I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. The Orange Diamond Thought of the Week. If you want to get over it, you have to go through it. We are back with the gorgeous Luscious Massacre. We're talking about a little bit of everything. When you've traveled with the shows, with doing makeup for Shangela, Valentina, some of these places, do you also get the opportunity to be in drag in these places that you go to?
A lot of the times I don't.
Okay.
And, that was a part of, it was very humbling for me. And it was such a journey because I remember before I went on We're Here, I had like a whole meditation moment where I was like, Luscious. Because, I'm a diva too.
Right.
Bitch, and I'm a narcissist too. I'm a drag queen. I'm delusional. And, I'm very confident. And number one on the call sheet is me, bitch.
Yeah.
Number two on the call sheet is me, bitch.
Yeah.
And so before I went and I started and I said, okay, I'm going to take this on, I had to have a moment. I had to talk to myself and be like, bitch, this isn't about you. You're going to go, you're going to be a professional. Remember that you're going to be of service and, check yourself, check your ego, go and be the best version of yourself, but also, keep it cute. Right. And so I had to always keep that in mind. And I'm so glad that I was able to go because I learned so much. Mm-hmm. And I also fucking enjoyed it, bitch.
Good.
The fact that I got to travel the whole country and I didn't have to be all up in drag. And I just got to go and do all of these beautiful things when I was working and when I went to Mexico, when I went to Hawaii, when I literally traveled almost the entire United States. And, I got to do it as myself. And that's also one of the reasons why when I won my Emmy, I was very passionate about giving that moment to my boy self. Mm-hmm. Because I was like, yes, the drag queen, of course, has taught you everything that got you to this point, but you earned this as just yourself without all of this drag, without all of these things. Because that's also something very important to come to that realization, because a lot of the times as drag queens, we get to this point where we're like, am I anything without this big fat bitch?
Right.
Or am I always is this all that I'm going to be able to be seen as? And it was very empowering for me to show that my boy self, Martin, honey, he's a sickening bitch too. Look what he did.
Right.
Look what this big fat ass bitch was able to come and do, honey.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it honestly is, it's extremely emotional for me to hear that because it's so powerful. Like I say, we see in many ways ourselves in other people, right?
Yeah.
And so when I think of you and I think of your drag daughter, Miha, I think of two people who have become family to one another, who do something so similar in the same circle, but so different. And to watch that and to see that in all the people in the world that you could have never met one another, but did find one another.
The universe.
You know what I'm saying? And I always say the best friends you can have in life are the ones that know you at your fucking absolute worst,
right,
but only champion your best.
Yes.
They would joke back and forth and read back and forth, but they wouldn't let a stranger say a fucking word.
Right.
Never. Because it's just not what it's about. You know what I mean? And so to see that, it's so sickening for myself to be in part of a group of people that this is our first time meeting one-on-one, but I'm like, I hope I know you forever because it's so fierce. It's so powerful. There's only a handful of people that can say that we have worked similar in a circle and been rewarded or been recognized in a way. You know what I'm saying? And when we watch our close friends, like, when you're painting up stars, when I see, our friends' accounts come up, an account like his Vintage Touch come up, and I'm like, look at my friend, bitch. My friend's people are begging my friend to do that. That's sickening. And it's just really powerful. And when we have these moments, it's like full circle to say, stop for a second and let yourself have it.
Yes.
Let yourself just have it and go, I'm in really great company, you know?
Not only letting yourself have it, but also respecting that part of yourself.
Yeah.
When I went to the Emmys, I purposefully did a half version of drag.
Oh, sickening.
So I had half of my face in drag and the other half of my face no makeup. And I know probably everybody was like, what is this girl doing? You know? But to me, it was so important to go and take up this space
right.
as a queer person, because one, who knows if I'm ever going to set foot in these stores ever again.
I love this.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I went in there and I said, bitch, I'm going to pull a stunt. When I go all up on that stage, I'm going to just let my heart out and I'm going to just like blow all the whistles, do everything I can because I want to be seen, but I also want these people to pay attention to what I'm about to say. And I want them to see my talent, but I also want them to see me, the real me.
Yeah.
The me that is stripped away from all of this beautiful glamazon that you see before you. Because this beautiful glamazon, honey, it takes so much out of my life force to bring her to life.
Yeah.
But the real me is the one that has to pay that price. And I had to really honor him. And I had to really, just pay that respect to him because he was the one who paid that price. And so I went up there and I remember after the Emmys when I was getting out, so many people kept coming out to me. They were like, oh my God, you had the best speech of the night.
Oh, I love that.
And it was so powerful because like, girl, James Cameron, RuPaul was there. All these people were in front of me. People who had no idea who I was, but I went up there and I was like, make some noise for the queens. Because the Emmys can be a little stuffy.
Yeah.
They can be a little boring.
And that's what's beautiful about paving your own lane. You decide because you are the person being recognized, being nominated, and everybody being nominated. You create the flavor of that night. And I love that. I love seeing that.
I pulled a stunt.
Why not?
I let them know what time it was. And I let them know, bitch, I may never be up here again, but you're going to see me tonight.
Right.
Trust.
I'm always curious because when you mentioned like the first person on the call sheet, the second person on the call sheet, and then also stepping back and going, okay, I'm going to do these people's makeup, help them create what it is that they want to see. When you do that, do you like how much of it is like, I'm just going to do what it is that they want versus what you want versus what the production wants? How does that work?
It's so hard. It really comes down to hopefully finding the trust. Mm-hmm. Between you and the person that you're working with. Right. Because if they don't trust you, it's so difficult. And I've been in those positions where it's like, I'm having a difficult day because I feel that there's no trust. And it's so difficult with us in this field where like, you're doing makeup, you're doing hair, and there has to be a level of trust. And if there isn't, there's always this back and forth, and I don't like to do that tango, bitch.
Right.
And I'm actually very, very easy to work with. Like, I am very the kind of person that there could be bombs going off and I will be not bothered living my life. But I love to try to always keep the energy around me the same. And it's difficult when you don't have that trust. So I always try to figure out how can I find and meet this person so that they can trust me. Because if not, bitch, we're going to tango.
Right.
And drag queens, they can be difficult, honey.
Sure.
And I also understand it myself being a drag queen because I know how hard it is to do drag. It's hard.
But what about like if you have somebody there and you're doing their makeup? I mean, obviously Shangela, Valentina, many other people, but they're going about their life, right? So they need to be maybe learning a script or doing something like that. Is it difficult to get somebody where you're like, stop moving? Like, I need you to, like, does that ever happen?
You know what? Luckily, I have not had a client that I have too much of a difficult time with.
Oh, that's good.
And at the same time, I'm very I am such a crazy nerd when it comes to makeup. And especially when I knew I was like, okay, I'm about to be a professional. Honey, I have a little lamp that I wear around my forehead. I have fans that I wear around my neck. I have all these tools.
Yeah.
And I have a battery pack. I have all these things so that I don't have to worry about, is the air on? Do they need
Okay.
to move me
That's
here?
smart.
They call me the coal miner's daughter because I look like I'm mining for gold. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm just going in, and if they're moving, I'm like, okay, well, let me move over here, girl. And I'm like, bitch, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to push. Let's keep this bitch push.
I love that. And as somebody who, you've played with every kind of makeup, every kind of look, you can accomplish all of them effortlessly. What would you say is like, is there like a high-end item that you're like, I will never be without that item. I don't care the price, I need it. And is there something that's just so cheap that you're like, I know you don't believe it, but I always use this?
Well, let me tell you, I always come back to this. I think as a drag queen, I know it's so tired, but MAC Cosmetics, bitch.
Is always. Mm-hmm.
Till this day, I feel like almost every beauty brand out there is still trying to recreate something MAC.
I agree.
They're still trying to find that MAC. I don't know what it is, but to me, like if they tell me, okay, there's one makeup brand, you can only use one to get yourself up in drag. I'm like, bitch, I'm going to get me MAC Cosmetics, bitch.
Yeah, because you get
It's
a foundation
old
to
school.
everything, even skincare, all of it.
Everything. They got everything that you need, and it's old school.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember the last time I set foot in a MAC Cosmetics, but I still have so much of it. It lasts a long time too.
Yeah.
It's just so good. MAC Cosmetics. To
Yeah.
me, it still gives it.
I agree. When did you start playing with makeup?
I didn't come out till I was like 24 years old, girl. So it was like a late start.
Okay.
And I had to literally run away from home because Brownsville, Texas. I had to run away from Brownsville, Texas because I was like, I'm going to be a little CD, DVD, Blu-ray girl. You know, back in those days, I was like, honey, I'm going to be a cross-dresser.
Right.
But I could not do it in front of my family. I was so scared. I was like, oh, no. If they find out that I'm one of the girls,
Right.
if they find out that I'm over here putting on some fishnets and heels, honey, and finding trade, honey, I was like, oh, I couldn't deal with that shame. So I had to go far, far away. I moved to Houston, Texas. And then there is when I started really playing with makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to really develop, like, you know, being a club kid. And I used to like super glue, like spikes on my forehead and do weird shapes, glitter, rhinestones, all these crazy things.
Is there a beauty product that you like at a drugstore that you would say, that's a pretty good product, I will use that?
Oh my God, I'm such a snob. I hardly
Really?
do beauty. Like,
Have you ever bought makeup from Dollar Tree?
oh my God, of course, when I first started, I remember I would go to the Dollar General and they had these cheap $2.50 pan sticks, full coverage.
Like the little
They were
twist
like a
up?
knockoff Max Factor pan stick.
Okay.
And me and my girlfriends would go, back in those days, honey, we were young, we were broke, we didn't know what we were doing. Girl, we would go to the Dollar General, we would steal them.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why would we steal them? They were only $2.50,
Just
bitch.
didn't have $2.50 sometimes.
Bitch. We would go and we would steal like 3 or 4 of those little pan sticks, and then we would go get some pizza or something. But those little pan sticks were the ones.
I live for that. I have no idea how any of the Twitch, all this stuff. I heard of Discord.
Oh my God, I have a Discord.
I know that you're active on that. Do the girls battle? What happens on Discord?
The Discord is truly such a beautiful community. It has completely opened me and connected me with my audience because I didn't even know what it was. One of my followers, you know, the girls are in the comments and they're letting you know because the girls know everything.
Right.
I'm very old school. Like half the time I'm like, they're doing what? Who's doing what where? Bitch, I'm not bothered. But they were like, Lush, you have to open up a Discord, blah, blah, blah. Before I knew it, I had like over 1,000 members. And it truly is so much fun. It's more of like a chat room. It reminds me of like Moco Space. Did you ever do Moco Space?
I don't think so.
Girl, I don't know if Moco Space is popular out here, but let me tell you, in Texas, honey, the trade, honey. I used to get trade in Moco Space before
Really?
Craigslist. Oh, honey, the Moco Space trade.
And what would happen there? Was it like you have your profile and
It was like a chat room, and it
Okay.
would show you everyone near you. It would put you in a chat room. And then
Okay.
so you would put like BBW plus trans girl,
okay.
DTS in Brownsville, Texas. Hit me up right now.
Right now.
And then, you know, everyone who's in that chat room If they're down, they start hitting you up.
So would you make sure that your face was done before you were like, plus, I'm here? Or so that way if they were available and you were like, I'm ready.
I'm usually, I would get done up. Or as I'm getting done up, I'm already posting, And then once Craigslist came around, then I was like, oh, girl, Craigslist was the tea, honey. I was over it when they got rid of, I swear to you, when they got rid of Craigslist, I had a whole like, what am I going to do with my life?
Right.
How am I going to have sex now?
But I tell you what, I do have a friend, and I shared this recently, but it's worth sharing again. What she does is she puts for sale, she'll go in there and she'll say, for sale, microwave. And then she'll say, I'm looking for, and then she'll word it a certain way.
The girl.
But if you zoom in on the microwave, it's her ass. In the
oh my God.
Which I'm telling you.
Demented. You know that once, if she, God willing, she reaches old age, 50s, 60s, 70s, she's still going to be getting pounded out.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she's going to figure it out. She's going to figure it out for all of us.
Yeah, she knows. And she's youngish. You know what I mean? I think she's only in her like late 30s.
Okay.
I love that for her. Yeah,
good for her.
Ish.
Good
Youngish.
for her.
I say so too. Let's take a break. We are back with Lushious Massacr. This is the part of the show that we call Read Me Delta, which is where people send in letters, questions. Sometimes they have they need advice. Whatever it is, if you have a letter and you want to send it to readmedelta@gmail.com. It could be anything, and they don't know who's here. They hope that their favorites will show up. So they'll say, I'm sending this letter just in case so-and-so comes. And then producer Doug will look through and go, oh my gosh, we've been hanging on to a letter just in case that person's here. And they're here.
Read me Delta!
Okay, this person was hoping you were coming. Dear Delta and Luscious, what the fuck is a work husband and a work wife? My boyfriend and I ran into this attractive lady he works with, and she introduced herself as my boyfriend's work wife. I don't even know you, baby. Should I feel threatened? Does it imply he cheats on me, but only during working hours? Or that he would if he wasn't with me? Or is that just an alliance to make it through the day at a shitty job? I have no idea if I should cut a bitch or not, but I kind of want to. It's the way she smiled when she was telling me, and then she claims my boyfriend at work. Please help me. Sincerely, Natashelle, the Dom Top Diva of Texas. Dom Top Diva of Texas.
Dom Top Diva
Do you know
of
the
Texas.
Dom Top?
I know a lot of Dom Tops, but not this one.
Not the one of Texas.
Not the one of Texas, honey. I live.
Have you heard of people saying that? That's my work wife. My work husband.
Oh my God, I would be so upset.
I don't like that.
I would find that very disrespectful.
I don't like that.
And you know what? I don't think she needs to be upset at the girl, the irrelevant little pedestrian girl who's at work.
I'm with you.
She needs to read her husband.
Down.
Because how did this woman feel comfortable enough to come tell you that to your face?
Right.
Bitch, your husband should have let her know, listen, my wife don't play with that shit. So you need to read your husband up and down, bitch.
And the girl obviously felt like empowered to say that. If the wife felt any kind of way, there's women's intuition. You know what I mean? And they would know, like, something feels off about the way you're talking.
It would hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, it's also like, girl, you could have sex with them. Girl, get your life. But to have an actual emotional relationship with someone, even if it's just at work, like that's intimacy. Mm-hmm. Bitch, you can't be intimate with nobody but me, bitch.
Right.
Don't you dare disrespect me like this.
Ever.
Teach your man some manners.
What about when you're with Trade, and Trade, who you see as Trade, but maybe you see them again more than one time, but they try to bring up somebody else. That's disrespectful.
Oh no. The worst disrespectful thing that a Trade can do is when they tell me, do you have a friend?
Just leave.
Oh, bitch.
Just leave.
Oh, bitch, you just made me feel like the only gutter pig.
Right.
Because you made me feel like I'm not special. Mm-hmm. You made me feel like this ass ain't good. Mm-hmm. You made me feel like all this work I put in, like it's nothing. Now you want me to find you a friend, bitch? But you know what I tell them? Just to gag them? Do you have a friend?
Yeah.
Baby, do you have a 10-inch top to come on over here and let me have?
Right.
Because you're not providing, baby. I need
And then they're bothered.
more. I need more.
And then they're bothered.
Do you have a friend? Do you have a friend who's got a dick bigger than yours?
Right. Because that's what I really need.
Because that's what I need. And they gag.
They do.
Mhm.
I think there is absolutely, even in a situation where someone is having a friend with benefits or whatever anyone wants to call it, there still has to be a level of respect.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you. Why would you think it's okay? Like, if that's the case, then just go pay for someone to do that for you,
Right.
and then you can talk however you want. Like, if you want to go with somebody who has, negotiable affection, then pay them their money, and that's fine. But if they're coming to you and you're getting yourself together and you're doing your thing, like they don't have to reduce it all the way down to go, by the way, you're one of many.
Right.
Well, guess what? You're one of many.
But I will say, it also has taught me the lesson, because one time I did ask a Trey, do you have a friend? And he said, oh, I do.
Oh.
And the friend came over.
And what happened?
And so now I asked them, do you have a friend?
And so did they have a third friend after that, or?
Well, every once in a while they have another friend, and then they
Right.
have an uncle.
How many friends and
And they have a
uncles?
cousin, too.
What would be too many in one session?
Oh, girl. In one session?
Like in one afternoon?
Oh, girl.
Or do you prefer late at night?
I am a full creature of the night.
Yeah.
I believe that with the quality of what's going on over here, when I put makeup on, it looks pretty under the guise of moonlight.
Right. Smoke and mirrors help.
Absolutely. Are you kidding? The femininity, the softness, the illusion, the delusion, it only happens at night. For me, it's when I feel the most beautiful.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a lot of girls out there who can relate, and they feel like, honey, I'm only giving beauty at night.
Right.
Because trust me, I have made the mistake of like getting all done up, feeling so soft, so beautiful, that little bit of blush.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go to like a Ross or a TJ Maxx, fully feeling like, you know what, I'm going to have a trans day.
Uh-huh.
And then I look at the mirror when I get to the Ross, bitch, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, bitch,
Goddamn.
pug, trust. And I'm shook.
I mean, I'm on board with you. I agree with your statement. I think it's disrespectful. I think that's something that you say to someone if you already have a friendship. So like, if you already have a friendship with somebody and you're like two couples or something, and you've been friends for years or something, and something silly comes up in conversation.
Right.
Well, when you've never met someone and they come at you that way, they're asking to get their face scratched. For sure. Like, I think that's ugly. I think it's rude, but I do think it's very telling of the husband or the boyfriend or whoever that is that allowed that person to be able to say that with their whole chest.
Oh, yes.
No. That's rude.
Get mad at your man.
Yeah.
Tell him what your boundaries are and make sure he knows. Because he needs to be the one to draw those boundaries and those lines. Because if that lady feels so comfortable saying that's her work husband?
Come on.
Baby, absolutely not. How dare you?
Rude.
Disrespectful.
Gross. Oh, okay, this person wrote a novel. All right, that's okay. They you know what? If you wrote a novel, it's probably important. It's probably all context. Beloved Delta illustrious guest. My friends constantly bully me for my peanut allergy. They acknowledge that it is in fact a life-threatening condition, but also find great joy in using it to harass me, calling me the weakest link and a freak. However, this does not bother me as I have many witty but piercing comebacks. My problem is my love life. I did not realize gay people love peanut butter so much.
Oh.
I mean, holy fuck. Every time I'm arranging a cute little hookup moment, I always have to ask if they've eaten anything containing peanuts that day, as kissing someone who has will trigger a reaction.
Girl.
I love a little makeout moment, but would not be interested in a romantic encounter devoid of it. 90% of the time, the answer is yes, and the vibe is ruined and the hookup is canceled. I try to mention it as early as possible, but I also don't want to immediately start interrogating them about their diet as soon as we start talking. Or say I meet someone at the club and we're hitting it off. I can tell a kiss is incoming, and I have to stop and say, hey, baby, I just got to ask if you've eaten any peanuts today. It always kills the momentum, but better the mood be killed than me. My question is, how can I make my peanut allergy sexy with all the love in my heart? Very Thomas. Have you heard of this before?
Girl, that's too much.
I say get an EpiPen, have it ready with you.
Baby.
Because listen, anything, you know what I mean?
I will say that this did remind me, I hate, because you know the girls.
Right.
When they get a piece of trade. Sometimes a trade comes in, who knows what they were doing? Who knows what they were getting into?
Mm-hmm.
And when they try to kiss you, and then you feel like, oh, bitch, this man was partying with a capital T.
Right.
Oh, that's the worst. So
Gross.
disgusting.
Gross.
So I understand you, Miss Peanut Butter Bitch. I understand.
Do you have any allergies?
I don't have any allergies, honey. I can do it all.
See, I don't have any allergies either. I don't. I think when I was a kid, I
wonder if she can eat ass. Because what if someone ate, like, I don't know, a peanut butter cake,
then you would be able to see the
and
peanuts.
then they took a humongous shit.
They could see the
And
peanuts.
then what if the peanut particles are still in the booty hole?
They are.
Because let me talk to you about this.
Tell me.
All these homosexuals do not understand that no matter what you do, on a fundamental level, you are a scat queen. No matter
Right.
what. Because no matter what you do, a booty hole is never clean.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, there will always be shit particles
Mm-hmm.
in a booty hole.
Right.
And so no matter what you do, baby, there is shit in your mouth, in your tongue. I don't care if that little twink was douching for 3 days straight. There is shit up in there. And so fundamentally, you are a scat queen no matter what you do.
Because it's like a series of caverns, if you think about it. And if the water flushes through, it might, like,
Sister, if
some
we
could
run a
back up
swab,
against the wall, right?
If we run a swab and we take it to the lab,
Right.
there will be fecal matter there.
Right. And I think we have to be fine with some level of...
And this is where gay people are delusional. Because they're like, oh no, I only eat clean booty hole. I'm like, bitch, there ain't no booty hole in the world that is clean, bitch. There will always be shit in the booty hole.
I've been known to buy celery and like just rinse it, but I know that there's still dirt on celery. But
oh, girl, absolutely.
I do it for my health.
You know what it is? We all just lie to ourselves.
Right.
Because you know that when you go to the grocery store, strawberries, all the fruits, everything, girl, there's shit all over that.
There is, because that's how it grew. They purposely put it on there.
Honey, absolutely. Who knows what they were. And this is what I always tell my girlfriends, be very careful with trade and just do what you got to do, because at the end of the day, listen, by the time the trade came over to me, they were just at my drag mother's house. They were eating her ass. Mm-hmm. And before they ate my drag mother's ass, they were with my other sister and they were pounding her out. Mm-hmm. And then before they pounded my sister, they were over there making out with my other sister. Mm-hmm. Honey, by the time they came to me, the trade was destroyed.
Right.
Covered in, girl, who knows how much excrement.
Right.
And then he comes over and I'm over here believing he's my boyfriend.
Right.
Just giving the romantic fantasy. And I let him pound me out. And then as soon as he leaves my house, he probably jumps on a flight, comes over here, comes and sees Mija, comes over here, visits Delta, bitch. and the girls think it's
And then goes to the ad on Craigslist looking at the booty inside the microwave.
Baby.
And goes, I'm going to go see her next.
Baby. But the girls lie to themselves and they're like, oh, this man is coming over fresh. Never been touched.
Never been touched.
Never been kissed, bitch.
And that's why you have the option to kill them.
Oh, absolutely. That's why I take a seat.
Yeah.
I sit there and I ponder and I do a lot of critical thinking and I decide, should I let him live?
Right.
Does he deserve?
Because he brought that toilet over to you to sit on to begin with.
Bitch, absolutely. As he, I douche and I clean my hole, but he is still there.
Bottom feeding.
With my shit particles that I'm leaving on all over his face.
Particles.
Honey.
Particles.
Excrement particles for the girls.
Like glitter, just like pretty little glitter. Shitter.
Absolutely.
Schlitter.
I wish one day they come out with like a light that you just scan it and you see shit particles.
In your ass.
And no. Where you can just see the shit particles and then you go to WeHo and you just go, boom, you turn the light on. Bitch, everyone's going to be covered.
Damn.
Everyone.
Like, I imagine on the face.
Bitch, everywhere. The face, their hands. Oh, nowadays, girl, their foot.
Everywhere.
The girls, they be putting everything. They get very creative.
They do.
And I live.
They do.
And let me tell you, those are the girls that I'm telling you that their ingenuity will teach a whole new generation. Listen, it's so wild how like sex positive and how knowledgeable we've become. Can you imagine in 100 years what these FAGs are going to be doing?
Yeah.
Girl.
I know that they're going to be doing all that. There's going to be the light.
Bitch.
They're going to scan. They're going to go like, it's going to be on the phone, actually.
This
it's
is
going to
why
be an
straight
app.
people cannot stand us.
You think that's it?
Because we're doing too much. We're evolving too fast.
Yeah, and they're not doing enough.
Oh, honey, no,
That's
they're
why
still
we don't-
stuck, girl.
That's why we don't like them.
Trust.
This could go on
Trust.
forever.
Oh,
you
baby,
are the
don't.
best person to talk to. This is
Thank
fun.
you. I will say I'm very surprised. I thought we were going to be complaining a lot more.
I think
I
we
wanted
could.
to really complain, Delta.
We could. We had to break the ice.
Yeah.
We had to
For the
break
next
ice.
one. For the next
right,
one.
Right. I think the mess would be if we not only did you come back, but Mija came back too. It's just,
we would do it together.
but how
Oh.
would she would angle different on the couch. So I think we'll have you in a beautiful chair, and then we can let
We can
Mija
put her on the floor.
Oh,
she
yeah.
can sit right there on the floor.
as a decoration,
As just, thrown on the floor.
throwing shade at us.
Just absolutely an obese monster on the floor.
Creature?
Just
Creature
fully
feature.
Oh, absolutely.
The
A pug.
The creature thought.
But representing pug excellence.
Excellent. SS Pug?
Pug.
SS Pug.
She would be a pug.
She would be.
Let us know in the comments, girls, if you want the pug
Right.
experience.
How do you want her? How do you like it? How do you need it? That's what we want to know.
Oh, honey, because she'll give it to you.
Thank you all so much for listening and watching Very Delta. Our show comes out every Monday. Subscribe to Mom Podcast YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. Search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps to listen to audio only if you can't take all of the visual glamour.
Yes.
You can also sign up for our premium offerings on Mom Plus Gold by visiting mompodcast.plus, where you get weekly episodes of more Very Delta. Don't forget to send all your questions to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. And where can people find you on social media?
Oh, honey, listen, you can find me on YouTube. I am the YouTube sensation. You can find me on Instagram at Lushious Massacre. That's LushiousMassacr.
Thank you so much. We will see you next week. And until then, keep things very Delta. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Margot Padilla. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions. This is a shout out to the one and only Catella Dash. We love you and we miss you.
Mom!
To listen to Very Delta ad-free, one day early, and to get access to more Very Delta and all of Mom Podcast's premium content, check out Mom Plus Gold at mompodcast.plus.